Here's an update on my Philco 491040 project. As you can see, I made the decision to pull off all the old veneer. It started off coming up pretty easily, nice big strips, which is great, because I can reuse these to patch up any bad spots in other areas. Other spots, not so much. I ended up having to get a chisel and a hammer and knock off some of the veneer. I made a few dings in it, but a little wood filler will take care of that. So, been doing my homework on how to lay on veneer. I think the biggest challenge is going to be squaring up these edges. I don't have a joiner. My current tactic is to stack these together, clamp them up with some 2x4s on either side, use a block plane, and hope for the best. I guess the next step then, from what I've read, is to arrange these in the final layout, use some push pins to get them as tight together as possible, and lay on some veneer tape, glue the thing on, weigh it down, clamp it on as best I can. When the glue dries, hopefully the tape will come up fairly easily, otherwise I'll just be sanding it off. Now if you're thinking this new veneer, it's much lighter than the old stuff. Keep in mind that this thing was painted very heavily, to the extent it makes me wonder why you even use mahogany veneer if you're going to paint it dark brown. But I guess it was a lot cheaper back then. So after I stripped this off, the veneer ended up looking like this. But from the strips I've pulled off, you can see when you flip it over, it's actually much lighter on the back, and there's a much closer match to my new stuff. So I think the challenge is going to be, once this is down, to stain it so that it matches up the old stuff fairly well, and then coat the whole thing with maybe a few coats of some red mahogany toner. I've also learned a bit more about this chassis. I wasn't quite right with the way this tuner works. Each section may be labeled 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but it didn't lock in on those frequencies. There's actually coils inside that can pop out, and you would, I guess, go to the dealer and tell them which stations you'd want, and they would install the right coils for it at the time. I've wired up all the caps for this. Obviously I got a little more stripping to do. Try to put on this veneer and hopefully beat the weather, because it's starting to get a lot colder here in Chicago.